Hey guys, we are here for the L Word Season 1, Episode 6, I believe. Sorry, I am so behind. I do have, this is my second channel, so I'm trying to get stuff started on here, but I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, and I'm about to go on vacation again, so I'm trying to get these videos out, but, sorry, that's all I can say. When I'm catching up, I'm going to do this one first, and I'm going to go back and I watched them all, but I just haven't done the videos on them. So yeah, sorry. Excuse the boxes. I got a lot of stuff on Amazon, and I need to throw out my recycling. Sorry. So anyway, without further ado, so with the L Word, it opens up with Sophie is taking a shower. She's all naked, and Danny is in or in and out of the bathroom and whatnot. She's not even, and then I guess Sophie asks her for something, and she doesn't even like budge or like pay attention to her woman or anything, and because Danny's just so into Bet and the campaign and everything, and she's really just neglecting the shit out of Sophie and not talking to her or not really communicating with her. And that's a big thing. I'm like, why wouldn't you address all this stuff before like trying to get engaged and everything? Or like, why aren't y'all in counseling now or something? I don't know. It just makes no sense. So I think that's how things open up, because I have my notes are kind of, the beginning of my notes are kind of messed up because I was eating and writing. Sorry. And then I think it goes to, no, then Danny leaves out, and then what's her name? Finley comes in, and she's like, "Damn, girl, you looking good. That ass is looking like that." And that's like, you want that stuff. Even if you've been with someone for a long time, you want those compliments still. It doesn't matter. And like, they're about to be wives or married and everything. And she's getting all the attention from Finley that she wished she was getting from, Danny. So from there, we see Gigi, Natalie, and Alice. Or maybe it was just Natalie and Alice. Well, they're all like, the throuple situation. And Alice was, they were talking about, stuff with their kids and going out to dinner or whatnot. And Alice can't go because she has a meeting with Network about her upcoming season or whatnot. So Natalie and Gigi are just gonna go to dinner on their own or whatnot. So from there, I think something is mentioned about like Micah's mom is coming into town or whatnot. And she's going to meet, I think his name is Jose. Y'all, I'm sorry. But Micah's boyfriend or whatnot. I'm like, damn, y'all about to meet the parents that quick? Like, that's fast. Like, honestly, I don't know how old he's supposed to be. Maybe he's kind of older, but I'm kind of finicky when people meet my parents. Like, I don't know. Like, you just ain't going to be my mama and especially not my dad off the bat. Like, it's just like, or if we just been together for a few months. I don't really feel like a lot of time has passed because Beth's been running for office and this is all within the same time frame. I don't know, it just seems kind of quick for Micah to be introducing his mama to anybody. And then he was talking about how his mama already went and got her some edible, or got her some went to the dispensary and got her some weed or whatnot, or some edibles or whatnot. So I'm like, okay, so seems like his mother is very laid back, especially for him to be Asian or whatnot and to be trans. So I'm like, the fact that you're even still speaking to your mother speaks volumes and all that, but we don't see the extent of their relationship till later. From there, we are at, it goes off to Dana's, Shane's bar, and she's talking to, she's having drinks or whatever with Bet, Tina, and Shane. Well, no, Bet and Tina. Shane is having stuff with Bet and Tina. And, the previous episode, when all the shit happened with Bet or whatnot, she kind of, like, begged Tina, like, don't leave. Can you just please stay? Or whatever, just don't leave. So it turns out, I guess, Tina decided to stay for a little bit longer and whatnot and stick around. So that's why Tina's still here. They're talking. And Shane mentions how her and Kiara are going to see their baby's heartbeat or whatnot later on that day, and she's like really nervous. And then like Bet and Tina were like so in sync, you know, like the old Bet and Tina from the original L Word, and how they used to be so like a cute little married couple and everything. And you can tell that Bet missed that connection that they have or had or whatnot, and she just really is enjoying Tina being around. And then she asks what she's doing for dinner, or what, or could they go out to dinner, just them two? So Bet's like, yeah, sure, why don't you just come to the house and I'll cook for you or whatnot. She's like, okay, sure, that's great or whatnot. From there, we see before all that, when they're back at Sophie and Danny's house, Sophie gets a call about her grandmother, and she fell or whatnot, and you know, her mom called, and they're like on their way to the hospital, and Sophie goes to the hospital or whatnot, and Danny kind of offers like, oh, do you want me to go? And she's like, no, you got work, and she just fell, so if anything happens, I'll call you or whatnot. But you can tell that Sophie's very shaken up. Finley's like, okay, I'll go with you or whatnot. Again, a moment where Danny should be her support system, and Finley is filling in. Okay, so, but I mean, that's her best friend or whatnot, but still, like, that's your soon-to-be wife, and that's a family situation. That's supposed to be your family, and you just kind of like blowing it off. I know if my grandma fall or something, especially if they're really close, like I'm gonna be there for my partner or whoever I'm with. Like that just seems weird. Or at least make sure I check in unless I had something very, very dire to attend to. I mean, old people fall all the time, not like that, but I mean, I would check on it and make sure how the severity of it, and then judge from there. But whatever, it didn't seem like Danny was on that, just was like, all right, I'm just gonna go. So from there, it turns out her grandmother does need to have some type of procedure. So I'm like, damn, she must have felt kind of hard. From that moment, I don't know if Danny was in contact with her, but from that moment, I feel like Danny should have been like there and present from that point, but she was not. And then from there, Finley was there. Well, no, Finley hadn't showed up yet. I don't think yet. So they found out that they needed that, and then Finley shows up short, like a little bit after that, and then because she's Sophia was like telling the mom and the sister like, oh, do you guys want something to eat or something, because they're all so stressed out about the abuela and everything. So Finley, she's like, I'm gonna go get you guys some coffee or something to drink, and then Finley comes in, knight in shining armor with snacks and all that. She even got snacks and shit on the shirt, like hot dogs and hamburgers. It was random, but she's wearing a shirt like that. She has very eclectic taste in wardrobe. Then it goes back to Bet and Danny. They're in a coffee shop, and Danny is asking Bet, does she want to prepare like a negative ad or whatever, ad campaign or a negative ad against her opponent, just in case he puts one out for her on her the night, like right before elections and stuff. And Bet was like, no, he never really does that, and he's an honest man and blah 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 blah, so I don't expect him to do that. And then she's like, you never know, he's kind of losing, and when people lose, and they they might change their tune or whatnot, so should I just prepare one just to have it so we can counter it if it happens? And Bet's like, no, and she's like, okay, fine, whatever. So she drops it. Then from there, we're at Kiara and Shane, and they're at the gynecologist, and then they go, and then before that, when Bet, Tina, and Shane were at Dana's or whatnot, they were reminiscing about Angie when she was when they heard her heartbeat, and they compared it to horses stomping in the mud. Now Shane is with Kiara, getting hearing the ultrasound or whatnot, and Shane, you can tell that Shane is feeling very awkward. She's fiddling around with his toys, and then Kiara's like, come here, like we're gonna get started, come join us, like, this is my wife. And then Shane's like, well, like ex-wife now. And I'm like, Shane, shut the fuck up, you ain't have to say all that. And then the baby's heartbeat starts going, and then Kiara's all sentimental and about to cry or whatnot, and Shane's like, oh yeah, it kind of sounds like horses stomping through the mud. I'm like, really, Shane, you just gonna steal that from Bet and Tina? Alright, cool, if you ain't got nothing else to say, I guess you just gonna throw that in there. So from there, because Kiara was like, it's our baby's heartbeat. I'm like, Kiara, I don't know, girl. Shane say she gonna be there with you, but we'll see. So from there, Alice is at the network meeting because she said that she's been trying to get that one dude, I don't remember his name. She's been trying to get him out. And then she had already mentioned to Natalie how she was gonna tell them that she wanted to move forward to the next season without, what's his name, Joe or something. Let's call him Joe. I don't remember. Try to say that she wants to fire him and get him off of the show for the next upcoming season. So from there at the network, he comes in and she's like, "Oh, you're here for this meeting. I didn't think you were going to be here for this." He's like, "Yeah, why wouldn't I?" And then she was talking to the network dude and he was like, she was just saying that she feels like there's too many voices in the room or whatnot when it comes to the show, and that she wants to move forward. Like, she feels like she can't even be heard, put it like that. And then old boy from network was like, well, as of right, she was like, going into the next season, and he was like, as of right now, we're not even sure if you're going to even get another season because ratings have gone down. Things have been kind of shaky. You're in a what do you say? You're like in a bubble or some shit right now. So right now that they need like some type of viral video to keep them relevant and get their ratings back up. And at this point, they only have, I think, one more episode. I'm like, how they gonna get all this in one episode and get the ratings up for them to be renewed? Usually people get renewed before that. I know when a lot of shows like Wendy Williams, not that I watch her a lot, when she gets renewed, it ain't like an episode before the season's over. So I mean, I guess whatever. So from there, so Alice is kind of like feeling like, shitty and like, damn, she about to lose her show. Like, what she gonna do or whatnot if she don't get on board with old dude? Because he was like, oh, I can do viral videos and get stuff because that's like his forte, and do what's catchy and all that. So she's like, shit. So she can't get rid of old boy because she need him or whatnot. So from there, Shane is talking to girl. I'm sorry. The girl who worked for her at the bar. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm bad with the names right now, and I didn't take that great of notes. So the one with the like kind of, I don't know. She sounds like a trans woman to me. That sounds horrible. But she has like a mannish kind of voice, but it's kind of weird. I don't know. Either you know what I'm talking about or you don't. And I don't mean no harm or no disrespect to anybody. It just, that's what it sounds like to me. Her voice just sounds off. I don't know. Anyway, she's talking to Shane or whatnot, and Shane is kind of getting frustrated because they're saying that like business isn't where Shane or where she wants it to be. And then she's like, don't worry, Shane, the business is doing fine. It's gonna pick up or whatnot. And then it seems like that it's always popping up in there and people ain't buying drinks. Like, what's going on? So she was like, I'm sorry, it's not really about you. Me and Kiara had a morning and we went to go listen to Baby's Heartbeat, and I didn't really feel anything and I don't really know how to talk to her. And then she goes and tells her, she was like, you know what? She tells her a story about what happened when she was in one of her AA meetings or whatnot. And some story about a sandwich, and then Shane didn't get it, and I was like, I didn't get it at first either. But the whole moral of the story was, just because you told her about how uncomfortable you were about having the baby and with her and everything, you need to constantly keep communicating and constantly keep telling her, don't keep her in the dark and making her think like you cool with this stuff now and you really not. Just keep telling her, and if she understand, and then she knew what it was from the beginning, which is true, because you need to keep telling somebody. If you in a relationship and you working on something and you feel a certain type of way, you guys need to keep hashing it out and keep talking about it and working on it. That's how you get past some shit until y'all get on the rhythm, get on the same page. You just got to keep figuring it out. That's just life. That's what you need to do. So that food for thought for Shane. Then we see Micah and his boo and mama. They out to lunch or something. And then the mom seems very receptive and very like accepting or whatnot of, Micah's transition and all that. Refers to him as him. Since a trans man, refers to him as Micah as him and all that. But then starts talking about Micah before the transition, and then she kind of switches, which you notice, like, oh, she was so cute back then, and look at her when he was a girl. Like, it was like, she just started switching with the pronouns, which, you know, is very, like, kind of insulting to a trans person and whatnot. Because he was like, Mom, will you please stop it? You always do this when I'm with somebody new. You always do this. Can you please stop? Can you please stop? And then she's like, what? No, I just want to show you. And then, you know, he already said to homeboy before, you know, how, you know, he doesn't like when people look at him, they see, or they're wondering and they're looking at him and like, how did you used to look type look, and he doesn't like that. Then he's like, Mom, that little girl is dead. That person, you know, that person doesn't exist anymore. It's me now, or whatever. And then she's like, I'm sorry, what? And then she's like, okay. And then Michael walks off, but then, oh boy, I think his name is Jose, walks behind him or whatnot. And he's like, hey, were you okay? He was like, she always does this. I thought she was going to be better. She should know better by now, right? And he's like, it's okay. He's like, I just don't want you to see me. He's like, I still see you how I always see you. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, dang, calm down. I mean, I don't know. I'm not, you know, I can't identify with that, but it is messed up if you try to tell somebody something. The only way I could feel that is like when you try to tell somebody that you ain't on something no more, you know, that's not a part of your life no more, and then they still kind of try to push for something that you once were that you're not, or whatever, or something that you never were, or something like that. And that is really, you know, difficult to do, and it's really frustrating to try to live your truth and live who you are, and people aren't accepting of you, or they try to act like they are, but then they kind of still switch it and change it. My bad, y'all, I'm thirsty. So from there, we see Beck's cooking for Tina, and they're having a nice little dinner or whatnot. And she was Tina was talking about how like she's really loved being around Angie, and she just wants to be there more, and she hates missing out so much stuff. And then she's like, they start talking about how she's like, yeah, I'm thinking about like getting a place here or whatnot, and I've been looking or whatnot. And then Bet is like, oh, so, you know, until you get a place, why don't you just stay here? Because in Bet's brain she's kind of thinking about maybe, I don't know, they can get back to, I don't know what Bet was really thinking, because I'm like, weren't you just fucking Felicity though? I'm like, so did you not really love Felicity like that? Was you just fucking with Felicity just to be fucking with her? And then if Felicity didn't mean that much to you, why are you risking your whole fucking campaign for this bitch? Just for some ass? You could fuck anybody, because you sitting here chasing back after Tina like, you know, you want that old thing back, but you was just up on Felicity. Like, Bet, what the fuck? Like, you really willing to risk? You say you doing all this stuff for Kit and everything, and if it was so easy for you to flip and switch and be back all in love with Tina, or hope for Tina, then why would you risk all of that shit when you didn't even fuck with Felicity like that? I didn't get that part. I'm like, I was like, what? I mean, I know like they got history and they got a child together, but I thought that this Felicity chick really meant something to her, and that's why she was willing to take this huge risk. But apparently not. I don't know. It was stupid. So Tina was like, oh no, me and whatever the fuck her girlfriend name is, she was like, yeah, she asked me to marry her. I was like, okay, Tina, I didn't even know you was with anybody. And y'all, Tina aged kind of bad. I don't know how what age she is, but she aged kind of bad. But she was looking old kind of back then. But anyway, that ain't got nothing to do with it. And I didn't like her makeup. It didn't look right. It looked like it was like orangey or the wrong color. And I don't like her hair color, but let me stop talking about her. It was just not nice. But I feel like it could have did better, because Alice is looking nice. Everybody else looked nice. Just Tina kind of feel off looking to me. Anyway, so Bet, her face is egg on her face. She's so upset, and she's just like, oh, really? And then try to act like she's so happy for her, but you could tell Bet is trying to hold back tears, that she is just so upset, and like all hope is gone between them. Like, did you really think y'all was gonna get back together? I don't know what Tina left with, but y'all divorced and shit, and then she didn't even come to Kit's funeral. I don't know. So it was weird. So, but Bet is pretty much heartbroken from that. I'm like, but you've been off fucking all these other people. You ain't think she was gonna move on? I can't stand that about exes, y'all. They be thinking that you just gonna sit suspended in air until you ready to get your life together, ready to, or like, I don't know. It's just bad, because I mean, originally Bet cheated first, you know, from the jump, and then Tina had to deal with all that shit. She was pregnant and shit, and then Bet, like, it don't feel good when somebody don't want you. Like, I don't know, y'all. It's just crazy. So from there, Um, it goes back. Oh, the dude name is Drew. See, I wrote it on down the paper. The dude name, so it's not Drew. It's not Joe. It's Drew. The one that got to do the catchy viral video shit with Alice, and then Drew comes in and talks to Alice, and he's like, she's like, oh, he was like, I know you were talking about me when you were saying that you feel like there's too many voices in the room, and she was like, well, yeah, or whatnot. He was like. She's like, well, it doesn't even matter now. It's like we're gonna be canceled. He's like, no, he's like, I've seen shows, come back from this. He's like, remember Colbert? She was like, first he's like, but this isn't like that. He's like, I know I don't understand your position or like, the LGBTQ community like that, but let me help you. Let me find you this, thing to keep you afloat and get you into the next season, and we can work on this together. So she decides to stay behind with Drew and work on trying to find a solution in a video or something that's popping for her last show. So from there, Sophie and Danny. No, so Danny. No. Wait, what I'm saying? Sophie and no, not Sophie and Danny. Finley is talking to Sophie or whatnot, and Sophie's upset because Danny never came or whatnot, and she's just kind of really sad about Danny not coming or whatnot. And she was like, I thought she would have came, but she's like, dude, I thought you told her not to come. She was like, well, but she knows me, she should have came. Then Finley was like, don't do that, because if you need to say what you want. If you want that girl to be here, you should have told her that you needed her here. Don't be saying like she should have knew better, because sometimes you need to communicate the things. Because if you sit there, like, closed mouths don't get fed, pretty much. Like, you can't just be sitting here blaming her and get mad at her because she didn't show up for you when you specifically told her not to. But she was like, don't be defending her. And then she told her this cute little story about her grandma and all this, and how she can't be dying, or she got to make it through this because this and all this sweet little story, whatever. And then Finley was like, would you pray with me? And she's like, you don't have to do that. She's like, no, I want to. And then they said a prayer, Hail Mary or whatnot. Then it jumps to Kiara, and she's sitting there waiting for Shane. I guess they're supposed to be having dinner together. And Shane, what the fuck does Kiara do? Is she like a star? She's famous, but I'm not quite sure what the fuck it is that she's famous for. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Maybe I missed what she's famous for. Excuse me, but apparently she ain't doing the shit right now. She got all this free time hanging around, and she having a baby and stuff. Maybe she on hiatus of whatever her career is. So from there, she's like pissed off, and she's leaving out of the restaurant because Shane ain't never came. Then Shane run up. I'm like, he was not about to, like, y'all live together right now. How you gonna like not show up? Y'all stand in the same spot or whatnot. Then Shane walk up, and she's like, Kiara. She's like, what the fuck, Shane? You could have called or text me back or something. What the fuck? He's like, she explains to her, like, when we went to see the baby's heartbeat and all that, I didn't feel nothing or whatever, and I just feel like am I gonna feel something? Am I making I'm just scared. And she was like, good. She was like, what do you mean good? She's like, you hear what I said? She's like, no, she was happy that she told her, and she was like, you're gonna feel whatever you feel in your time. Just because I was, feeling a certain type of way, that's me. But she was like, whatever you feel, we gonna just keep, whatever. She's like, aren't you scared? She's like, no, I'm not scared, but I'll let you know if I am scared. So just keep like this communication going. I really fucks with Kiara, not just because she's fine, but I really fucks with her, like the way they write her character. Why I say it like that? She seems very like a very understanding person. That's probably the kind of person that Shane needs, because Shane just be on some other stuff, and when she can't handle shit within her personal life, she just run away. She is a very good friend, but when it's ever her personal life, she's just like it just don't go well. But she's one of the people that's a good friend, but a horrible companion and lover and stuff like that. But anyway, so back to Finley and so Finley is getting some clothes for Sophie, and Danny comes in the room. She's like, oh, sorry, I'm just getting some clothes for Sophie. And she was like, oh, okay. She's like, how's she doing? She's like, oh. Then Finley confronts her, like, why didn't you come and check on her or whatnot? She's like, well, she told me not to. She's like, Then she kind of what she say? Because Finley like you should have been there for her. She was very upset, and then she's like, well, she told me not to, and then she was like, well, I was there. She was like, yeah, you what the fuck did she say? You have like she said something like on the lungs of like yeah, you should have been there. Like you ain't got shit really important in your life or nothing like pressing in your life that you need, that you couldn't be there or something like that. And I'm like, bitch, what? Like I don't like Danny's fucking character. Like she's a real fucking bitch. Like you sitting there all up Bet Porter's ass. You met her 2 fucking seconds ago, and before that you was all about opioids with your father and shit's company, and then you get with Bet and you all up her ass crack after knowing her for 2 seconds, but you've been with this girl for I don't know how many years, and you couldn't even be there for her when she's like really going through some shit, family shit. You supposed to be her fucking family while you was fighting so hard with your father about her, but you don't even want to fucking give her the time of day and be there for her and your new family that you have. But whatever. So Finley kind of treated her. She was like, she was like, yeah, you know, you have the, she was like, yeah, you right. And then she was like, what she's tell her that? She was like, yeah, you could be there for her. She was like, no, something like, you should have been there. You're the one that's like her fiance or whatever, like, or whatever, some shit like that. So Finley treated her ass back. But she was like, yeah, I'm not her fiance though. And it's kind of something like that. But she treated her ass back. So I was like, bitch, what? You rude as fuck. So then, before that, there's a sex scene between, my bad, I guess I didn't write that shit down, but I'll say it. The dinner with Gigi and Natalie, they had dinner, and then Gigi making tea. That bitch is always making some tea. So they making tea, and then they're in the house, talking or whatnot. I think that was that. Well, she was putting the baby to sleep first, and then she was like, then they're making tea. And then she was like, oh, I missed that or whatnot. She was like, miss what? She's like, I miss, you being here and being with the kids and all that. She's like, I am here. She was like, I know, but you left and we went through all this stuff, and I hate that, they had to go through all this and that we had to go through all this. And I'm like, why haven't y'all had this conversation before? Honestly, especially, why haven't you had this conversation before you got a whole other fucking wife? And why'd you even get with Alice? She was like, you left. And she was like, you should have never left home. She's like, well, you didn't give me any choice. You kind of shut me out and all this. I'm like, y'all didn't go to counseling or nothing. Like, she cheated on you and you just shut her out and then left and then got with Alice or whatnot. That's weird as fuck. Like, you had a life. I'm sure she's had a life. She probably adopted them kids, or I don't know if either of them are birth brothers to those kids, since they were probably fucking babies. Them kids kind of old. Like, you didn't try to work it out at all. You just bumped her out, and y'all supposed to be best friends and all that. And you sat there and you got with Alice after 2 years, or I don't know. Like, I don't know the whole situation because they haven't said the whole backstory on them. But this sounds like conversation that should have been fucking had before you go on and especially get married and be with somebody else. And then all of a sudden, you could tell that Natalie just been fucking carrying around all this hurt for this whole time. But she's always still just really wanted Natalie. She was like, you should never left home. You should have tried harder for us and stayed with us and all that. And I'm like, bitch, what? So what the fuck about Alice? So then they start kissing and shit. Then they fuck and they fucking out extra hard and stuff. And I'm like, I guess she can't hit it like she hit it better than Alice or something. I don't know. But then after they have all that going on, Alice is coming home. She's talking about some, she's coming in like normal into the house. Like, hey guys, you guys up, blah, blah, blah. Then she walks in and they fucking or whatnot. And then like they try to act like it's all cool. Like, oh, hey, what's up? You want to join and all that? She was like, what's going on? They didn't establish no throuple rules. Like, do y'all all gotta fuck together, or can y'all sometimes fuck apart, or I don't think they made these rules, and that shit could get kind of muddy, and somebody get left out. So Alice tries to play it off. She's like, oh, I'm sorry you mad. She's like, no, I'm not mad. So she kind of turns around, and then she was like, trying to process, like, what the fuck am I just going on? She's like, she feeling like, oh my God. I'm like, that's what you need to establish rules, or for one, you don't put 2 fucking ex-wives. I can understand a throuple, but that's if y'all all get together together at the same time or something. It's got to be some type of different way. I don't think having a couple that's strong and then you bring somebody else in or something, two exes getting reunited. They never really wanted to be about that life. They probably just wanted to be together and had their kids. They probably wasn't really trying to be all about that polyamory type shit. So from there, Alice was like, she turns back around. She was like, you know what? No, I'm not okay. She was like, this isn't what she's like, I don't think this is what I meant by us, being all together and all like that. So she's like, oh, or whatever. And then she was like, well, are you mad? I'm sorry. She's like, no, it's fine. She's like, you want me? She's like, no, I'll leave. She's like, I mean, shit, this is your house. She's talking to Gigi. She's like, shit, this is your house. These are your kids. She's like, shit, that's your wife. And then she just and Alice just leaves. And then she goes to Shane's house and she's trying to tell Shane what happened. And then, back up a little bit, Alice is still mad at Bet for lying to her about Felicity, so she hasn't spoken to Bet or whatever, and Bet is at Shane's house because she just found out that shit with Tina, so she's upset. So Alice comes and she's like, shit, I don't need this right now. I don't really want to talk to Alice. Then they kind of hash out whatever. She's like, I'm sorry. She's like, why wouldn't you tell me about the whole thing with Felicity? She's like, I was afraid you was going to judge me. She's like, judge me? I'm in a throuple. And she's like, y'all just feel so stupid and used and all like that. Or well, I just feel so stupid. Like, how did I let this happen? I don't want to lose Natalie. I'm like, girl, I don't think you ever had Natalie, to be completely honest with you. Or whatnot. I think Natalie just had some shit to get over with, and she should have got over in like therapy or something and not added somebody else to her life, or never got married. She should have just dated some people until she was ready to forgive Natalie, because now she done forgave Natalie and they getting it all in and shit, and now you left out like looking like Boo Boo the Fool. So from there, we see Micah and his mom, and they have a little heart to heart, and he's like, she apologizes or whatnot, and she was like, have you told that sweet boy that you love him? Because she could tell the way that he is with him that they do care deeply about each other. She could tell that boy loves her son, and she was like, I'm sorry, I'm going to try to do better. I wish your father was here. He's like, he was always better with this than me. I was like, that's awesome. Like, that is really awesome. Maybe because Asian people always be wanting sons anyway. I'm not trying to be stereotypical, but that is a known fact that in that culture they want sons anyway. So maybe that's why it was easier for the father to accept Micah as being a boy anyway. I don't know. But anyway, they hashed it out and they cool now. So from there, is Sophie. Sophie is in the hospital room. Her mom and sister have gone home to go to sleep and shit. And the procedure, I guess, went okay. And then, but they're waiting for her to wake up. Finley comes in again to check on her, see if she's all right, or whatnot. And then, what happened? Danny comes in as well, I think, with her or some shit. Danny comes in too. But Danny don't stay long. She's like, oh, what are you doing here? She's like, yeah, I just came to check on you and whatnot too. See everything. She's like, yeah, she's waiting on her to wake up. And she gets a call or a message. So for the campaign, the dude that's running against Bet did end up running a negative ad campaign against her, and they don't have a counter for it or whatnot. So now she's like, fuck, I knew this was going to happen and we're not prepared or whatnot. And so she just kind of hops up, and Sophie's like, it's okay, you can just leave, bye. And then that just frustrated Sophie, because she was there for 2 hot seconds and got up and left. And then Finley was like, I'm sorry. She's like, that's why I didn't want her to come, because I knew some shit like this was going to happen and she wasn't going to stay no way. So she's just kind of upset with Danny or whatnot. So then she's reading to Sophie's in her feelings or whatnot, and then then it jumps to Bet and Danny, and Bet, Danny is just fucking worships the ground that fucking Bet walks on, and they're sitting there, and then she was like, oh, I can't believe that. She's like, you should have let me do this. You should have let me protect you and all this. I'm your campaign manager, blah, blah, blah. She was like, if you don't know any, you must not know me. I'm not gonna let this negative shit or whatever. I'm running on, a clean campaign type shit, kind of bet, whatever, you already sold your own name, but this isn't gonna stop me. I'm still in this. I'm still whatever, blah, 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 blah. And that just made Danny just like, ooh, got over her even more. And then she was like, you want some whiskey? And then they having a drink, and she's just sitting there smirking and all, looking at bed like, I'm like, bitch, really? This is why you ain't got time to go be with your fiance? You ain't shit, Danny. Maybe y'all meant for each other. Y'all both two like workaholic ass bitches. And y'all just really selfish ass people. Honestly, y'all both two very selfish ass people. So maybe that's why you're so attracted to her or whatnot, because of the way y'all are, to birds of a feather. So from there, it goes to Alice and we hear a message from Natalie calling Alice or whatnot, and calling her saying she didn't mean to hurt Alice, and that she needs I don't know why she's not answering, but she needs a few days to figure this out, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you need a few days to figure this out. You're the one that was fucking Gigi, and supposedly you and Alice's home, because Gigi don't fucking live, well, supposedly doesn't live there anymore, but then she just came back into the relationship. So how you gonna say like, oh, I just need a few days? I'm like, bitch, really, you need a few days? Alice is the one who's getting treated in this whole fucking thing. So you could just tell by the way Natalie was speaking, that shit just was some bullshit. So from there, we see what else happened. So then Alice finally goes, sorry if this is out of order, but it's still kind of in the right order. Alice goes to meet up with Alice goes to meet up with Natalie and Gigi or whatnot, goes to meet them for lunch or whatnot, and the waitress was like, can I get you some? She was like, coffee. She was like, wait, no, don't give me shit, because I don't know how this conversation about to go, so I ain't gonna have nothing. Then they're talking, and then it was like, we just had a lot of time to discuss things and figure out what we wanted and blah, blah, blah. And they were pretty much, just sitting there, just all like, they're the cutest little couple, Gigi and fucking Natalie. And Alice was like, really? Wow, okay. And then she was like, but, we're just all confused, and we just really want to figure this out, with you and all that. And she was like, are you fucking kidding me? She was like, wait, has Gigi been fucking there these past few days since I've been gone? She's just been in the house and I've been gone? And I'm like, bitch, y'all hoes are the ones that's been doing something wrong, but I'm the one that's been kind of exiled out of the home. And then she was like, wow, she was like, well, yeah. And I'm like, these bitches ain't shit. They're fucking both selfish. Y'all fucking should have just took the time to work on your fucking relationship instead of bringing somebody. Well, I blame Natalie mostly for this, because she should have fucking went to counseling with Gigi and tried to work that shit out, instead of marrying a whole other bitch, bringing her in, then having her bring in her ex, knowing that you were still completely in love with this woman and whatnot, and then hurting Alice in the whole fucking process. That's real fucked up shit to do to somebody. And bring your children around somebody else and have them living with them, even though they never seem to take to Alice anyway. But that's real fucked up to do to someone, and to uproot them or have them be uprooted. But Alice already said that we heard early in the episodes that she kept her house anyway, that her mama just staying there. So good thing you kept that shit, Alice. And then she was like, wow, no. She was like, oh, so you guys are trying to say that you want to still be with me? She's like, oh, it doesn't seem like you guys need me at all. You guys seem like the perfect couple, and that you guys got everything that you guys need. So don't do me any favors. She was like, I'm just happy that I could help you guys reunite. She's like, so you guys pretty much used me or whatnot. And she's like, no, it's not like this. She's like, no. And I'm thinking like, yeah, that is bullshit. Y'all some fucked up individuals. And Natalie should have took the fucking time. This is why I don't fuck with people who just freshly out of relationships and shit like that. You give them people time. And then even if sometimes you just don't know, but I at least try to give some motherfucker a grace period. I be trying to ask when they last ex was or something, because motherfuckers be having all this baggage still, and you think that they moving on and being with you, But shit, Natalie was too quick to jump and let Gigi back up in that bed and back in that house. So she should have known that was a red motherfucking flag. And Alice, you kind of brought this. It's like she brought it on herself, but the shit was gonna happen anyway. Whether Alice was the person bringing it together or not, I feel like Natalie would have ended up cheating on her with her outside of the throuple shit or whatnot. And Alice was like, man, fuck this. I'll just schedule with you when it's a good time to come get my shit, you know. So fuck it. I'm out pretty much. And I guess they just gonna get a divorce from this point. And I'm like, they some bitches. That really pissed me off. And y'all, if y'all watch the other L Word, why is Alice always getting the short end of the stick? Like, she always getting fucked over. Like, it seems like it's just like she can't never have no love, like long-term love. I mean, honestly, none of them can. But I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. So from there, it goes back to Sophie. And at this point, Sophie's reading to her grandmother, and Finley's comes in or whatnot. And she was like, telling her, she's walking her out. She's like, she's gonna go home. She's like, no, you go home. She tells Finley, you go home or whatnot. I think she's like, are you sure? Because I guess it's like visiting hours are about to be over. And she's like, no, I'm fine. She's like, there's barely even enough room for me to sleep in there with my, you know, grandmother. You go ahead and go home or whatnot. Thank you so much for being there for me. She's like, of course, bro. You know, you're my girl. And then Finley goes, and you could tell when the looks that they've been giving each other, there's been a little bit more than a friendship connection or whatnot. Excuse me. So she goes and she's like, she tells Sophie, she's like, I love you. And that I love you was more of a like, I love, like in love with you, love you, than a like, I love you, you my homie, and I got you, I love you. So she's like, all right, I'm gonna go. And then they were like holding, like, you know, kind of grabbing hands. And then Sophie pulled her back and whatnot. Sophie pulled her back and whatnot, and they kissed like hard. I'm like, what, y'all go fuck in the hallway? But no, they just kissed or whatnot, and that was that. I think that actually happened before the Alice thing, so insert that before that. Sorry, y'all, I'm tired. I just got home from work. It was a long day. But then the last scene is Sophie talking to her sister, and she tells her sister what happened between her and Finley. And then she was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And then she was like, really? And then she was like, well, she's like, you're gonna tell Danny, right? She's like, no, I'm not gonna tell her. I would just, you know, fuck her up or whatnot. She was like, what'd she say? But she was like, I'm not going to tell her it's never going to happen again. So why should I tell her? No, I'm not going to tell her. I don't need to tell her. I shouldn't tell her. Should I tell her? I shouldn't tell her. So it's kind of one of the things. But you definitely got to tell her. But I don't know who's worse in this part, because Danny, on one hand, has been the neglectful girlfriend and chasing behind Bet and all that for a job and a purpose on one hand. But you can tell that there's a little bit something more. But she has not acted on anything. So she hasn't physically done anything. But people can cheat with their mind and with their time and all that before actual physical thing can happen. And although Sophie is the one who actually done something sexual, just a kiss, with someone else, it's like Danny was the one pushing her away and not confiding in her and not, you know, being close to her. And she has to get that comfort from Finley and all that stuff. So, I mean, like, who is anybody better than anybody in this? I kind of still feel like Danny's the shitbag. But y'all tell me how y'all feel about this in this episode. I think there's only one episode left in the series, because I guess it's just they ordered a short amount of episodes, I guess. I'm not sure. I think that's the end of the season after this one, or one or two episodes. I gotta check. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your thoughts or comments of what you think is going to happen if that's the finale, or what you think, predictions or whatnot. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys. And there's more content coming on my channel, but again, this is my second channel, and I'm really trying to get into the groove of things and fit it in where I can. And I'm going to put the other videos up. They will be up shortly or in the next day or so. I apologize. Yeah, I guess that's it. Love you guys. Peace. Bye.